What's going on, YouTube? So you know what today is because you probably read the title and that's why you clicked the video and you're here today. Once again, thank you all to the new subscribers who are following along on the Lotus Evora content. I do owe a service to my M3 fans and getting some more M3 content out soon. Really one of the main reasons why I haven't really had anything new on that car on this page is that it's long overdue for some service. I need some brakes, some oil changes, and a couple other quality of life things that I need to get done in the car. But today we're going to talk about 5 things I hate, and that's a strong word because I don't really know if I hate them, but for the light of the video, 5 things I hate about the Lotus Evora. I've had the car now since March. I'm now at 9,000 miles on the clock. Bought the car with 3,200 miles on it. So I've done a healthy, 6,000 miles. That's impressive because as of right now, over the last year and a half, I've only put 1,900 miles on the M3. Yep. But I will also continue to try and keep content rolling every week with the new job ramping up. I am very busy during the week, and I really only have the weekends to provide you guys content. But let's get on into it. So yeah, let me go ahead and climb up out of this car so I can kind of walk you guys through my top 5 things I dislike about this Lotus Evora. Kind of give you an owner's perspective of some things to kind of consider and think about when you are purchasing your Evora. More likely check for, because a lot of these are common issues with the car. I've been told if you have a 2017 model, you will probably see some of these things. For those who get a 2018 model, maybe you're blessed and you don't have them. And let me talk about them. Honestly, the things I dislike are things I can fix personally myself, which I guess is a good thing. There's really no real hate about the car, but the first one to definitely talk about on the car is going to be this right here. So number 1 thing on the list of things I dislike is some of the quality of the car. I know this talked about a lot, and for me personally, it's not that big of a deal, but it is something that I do dislike. If I had to really think about what were some of the things that they've kind of let me down on. As you can see here, this is actually a very common issue on the Lotus Evora. Something to do with the clips for the leather onto the Sparko seat have come undone, so I have this seat not being properly tucked. I think there's a bulletin on the forums for how to redo that, so I definitely have to look into getting that done. But it's definitely something that once you know it's there, bothers you, but honestly it doesn't affect the driving of the vehicle or anything like that. Continuing the theme of things I don't like, and honestly, of course, when I'm doing the video, it doesn't show up, but every now and then right here, due to heat, there's like a little bubble that forms, and I'm really mad that you guys can't see it, but it's usually there. The only other thing is I have one clip on this that has come undone, so you can see that slight elevation, how it's supposed to be tucked in like this. This is common as well. People say the clips come undone, and now it's hell to get it fixed. So if it continues to keep getting undone, I will probably fix it, and probably should be, I will. I'll definitely order a new one because that bubble is annoying and this coming up, but it's not a priority. Once again, doesn't affect the car. So as you can see, I would be lying if I said, yeah, quality for a Lotus, you know, it's hand built, they're not a huge volume builder. It's Lotus is what you know. There's going to be some small issues, but you'd be kidding yourself if even on some of the cars known for being quality, yada yada yada, won't have issues like this. I mean, these are minor things in the grand scheme of things. I haven't brought anything up about the motor yet. I won't be because there's no issues, but there are some fit and finish concerns when it comes to the materials and quality on the vehicles, and those are 2 of them for things that I dislike. The next one, I actually have to turn the car on so you can see. So let me go ahead and do that really quickly. And this one I didn't know about for a long time. To be completely honest, I don't know if it's consistent. It has been recently, but it's been pretty on and off. But if you look here, you can see, that is what the light should look like. And this is what the light looks like here. So, bulb's definitely gone out. I mean, Jesus Christ, come on, guys. So as you can see, I have to get this fixed. This is one of those things I can't continue to have happen. So I did order some new lights. Shout out to Greg's Race Parts. Once again, great products for Lotus. I was going to get updated lights to kind of get rid of the white that's in the center of the light. Is for the Europe market, for having the reverse lights there, I believe. And so there's literally nothing in here. So getting the new up-to-date lights will definitely improve the look. But yeah, I have bulbs out on the lights, and I know for a fact when I got the car they weren't out. And I actually saw one time when my brother was here start the car up and they weren't out, but now it's been pretty consistent that they are out. So fit, finish, quality issues, those are the top 3 things that have been an issue for me. Probably top 3 things have been an issue for most people with the 2017 Lotus Evora. It is what it is, minor fixes. The seat thing I can honestly do myself. The lights is like a $400 replacement if you go with Greg Race Part lights, which I actually have coming. So a video for that will be coming soon for the installation and the difference in how those look. And then the airbag thing is a concern because I actually have been told I have to take the entire dash off, which is a pain in the ass, to be able to replace the clips to securely mount that down. So won't be doing that anytime soon, but I will be getting to that eventually. Number 2 thing I hate about my Lotus Evora are these Dumbo looking things right here. I mean, these are got to be the ugliest, uninspiring, unathletic looking lights I've ever seen. As a matter of fact, I know for a fact those are straight from Polar Star or whatever the hell they're called, the brand that makes those cars. That's what it was with Lotus. This is definitely their part. They could have put something sexier on this, something a little more. If you looked up like any of the aftermarket mirrors for the Exiges or the Evoras, a lot sexier, a lot more race inspired. These things are hideous. So I've searched and searched trying to find a replacement for these lights. If anyone's in the aftermarket business and watching this video, give us a replacement. I mean, if I can get different mirrors, this car would look so much better. These things are garbage. I don't care anybody says they're garbage. These things are about as ugly as lights on a Camry. Oh, quite honestly, the Camry mirrors might be better. But yeah, so that's number 2 on the top 5 list of things I dislike about the Lotus Evora. And as you can see, I'm being real picky here, and I am complaining. But definitely, when you look at some of the shots and some of the footage, you look at the car, once you realize that those aren't attractive, you can't unsee it. Like, you're always like, dang, those are some ugly side mirrors. But I've been spoiled. The M3 side mirrors, despite how big they are, the look and design of those are beautiful, and that's really what set the car apart. And then coming to these unaspiring looking side mirrors on a car that's a mid-engine supercar, I expected a little more supercar-like mirrors, but whatever, what can I do? Number 3 on my list of things I dislike about the Lotus Evora is gonna have to be the aftermarket scene. Where are they? I can literally name the 3 scenes I know in North America that do stuff for the Lotus Evora. GRP, Greg Race Parts, BOE Fabrications, and Hethel Sport. There might be some other smaller ones, but for the bulk of stuff, when you're looking, it's coming from them 3 places. There's a couple other places overseas, like Hangar 111 and Comotech, but in the States, we are limited. If you want aftermarket parts, go to Hethel Sport or go to Greg Race Parts. He has carbon, he has exterior lights, he has side carbon pieces for the exterior, you know, suspension stuff. If you want KWV3, go to Hethel Sport. If you want any body kit changes, which is definitely where I'm going to be sourcing my body kit stuff, hopefully in the future. And if you want to tune, there's no tunes in North America for the Lotus Evora 400. And I got a supercharged car. This should be an off-the-shelf, easy grab. Like, decode or break into the tuning, whatever you have to do, and just give me a tune. So I'm actually gonna have to go with Comotech to eventually get a tune, which is overseas. So, you know, that's an issue, so to speak. You know, I really would like this to be a little more accessible for North America, but I mean, there's only like 300, 400 of these cars in North America, so when you come to a value proposition of making the product and your ROI, I get it, but I don't care, I want it. So yeah, that's number 3 on my list of things I'm not liking about the Lotus Evora. And number 4 on the list might be hard to tell, but there's a color difference here and there, and you can see it here. You can see that line, right? You can see it there. Let me get closer for you guys. There we go, that's a good shot. Who did they use for their protection? This is some garbage. I mean, this thing is supposed to be clear. There ain't nothing clear about that thing. Looks like milky spoiled milk. So yeah, I actually, as soon as I got the car, noticed that the PPF on this car was garbage. It's definitely not 3M. It can't be. If it is, I don't know what happened, but this is some garbage material on the car. I'm pretty sure this is some garbage material on every single car that's left the Lotus factory, and they should be ashamed of themselves. If it ain't 3M or any of the other bigger brands, like, what are you doing, guys? Like, Jesus. So I actually was told that if I do some emailing or whatever, I can potentially get it swapped out or changed. It needs it. And if I can't, it's still getting off the car because it is disgusting. And it really just, like, it looks like, dang, man, you spent a lot of money and got some cheap product, but it wasn't my doing. Lotus, change your supplier. So that is 4 things on the list, and I'm reaching here for number 5, guys. I mean, I'm seriously reaching here for number 5, but number 5 is gonna have to be the people. You got some love it folk, and you got some people who just say the darnest things, like, why did you get a Lotus Evora? You know, it's not the best dollar for buck. You could have got a Corvette Z06 for that money. If I wanted a Corvette Z06, I would have got one. I don't know, maybe because I don't like the way they sound. I don't know, maybe because I don't like the way they drive. I don't know, maybe because I don't want a Corvette. Like, it's just that simple, people. I don't want what I don't want, and I wanted this. I don't need you to compare my dollars every time you see my car or in a conversation about what I could have done. I didn't do that because I didn't want to. So how about you go, you spend your could have done money, and you go could have done that. Because I like my Lotus Evora, and I'm tired of having to keep explaining to people why it's so great. If you went and drove one instead of being a paperback warrior, reading some specs and shit, you might actually understand what matters when you buy a car. And that's sound, feel, and emotion. And because a car can do 0 to 60 in under 3 seconds and lap the Nürburgring in 6 seconds flat, that shit don't mean shit to me on a daily basis. When am I doing 0 to 60 in 3 seconds flat? Please tell me when I'm hitting the Nürburgring in the United States of America. So I don't even care about none of that stuff. But when I'm leaving my neighborhood and I'm driving around town and I'm cruising this, there, and that, the car is great. If I want to hit the track, the car will be able to hit the track. I'm not out here trying to be freaking Anthony Lewis out here, so I don't care. And that's really my top 5 things I dislike about owning my Lotus Evora. Most of them cosmetic issues from the factory, but all in all, this car is a beast. I really, really love driving it. Like, it's amazing. But this ain't about talking about how amazing it is. This is me supposed to be talking shit about the car. And so, yes, I hate that my lights are out in the back. I hate that the materials aren't so great. I hate that, you know, I have to deal with all these little things from a warranty perspective on a car that's practically brand new. But I mean, some of these things were expected when I bought the car, so I'd be a fool if I'm really gonna act like I'm shocked or, you know, out of the loop and not knowing this. And as I'm talking, I forgot a big one, a really big one that isn't a myth. These cars suck if they're not on the tender when you're not driving it consistently. And just to point out just how serious this is, let me reach down in here and show you this ain't a game here, guys, because I learned the hard way. I left for a week and it was proven. They give you this bad boy right here to plug in, because if you don't plug this thing in when you're gone, this thing gonna be doing a whole lot of hocus pocus weird stuff. If you watch this next video, you'll understand. So yeah, I got back and my car was not wanting to play properly. It was, the media system wasn't coming on. I had to keep turning on and off the car to get that to work. Gauges weren't working, as you can see from the video. But honestly, like, once I drove it a little longer, it all just started working again. So I'm sure the batteries just need to charge up some more. So definitely keep your car on a tender, which is kind of a pain if you are in a rush or you just simply can't have access or you forget it or whatever. But yeah, the batteries here are sensitive, which leads to sensitive electronics and weird shit happening. It's not a game. So yeah, that's my top 5 list. Quality, fit and finish from the factory. Real bad material on this PPF stuff they gave me. The lights in the back are bad, which I guess kind of goes under quality. The battery will die and your electronics will do some weird stuff. What else did I have on here? The people you gotta deal with who try and justify your purchase for you. Whew, them people. And yeah, so that's the list. Tell me what you guys think. For those who might own one who are watching the videos, kind of tell me what are on your list of things you really dislike about the car. But yeah, I mean, all in all, that's my list, and I will definitely have another video coming soon, as I mentioned, on the install of the new lights to kind of replace that and knock that off my list of things I hate seeing, but also to talk about some of the weird and interesting things about the Lotus that I kind of discovered as I've owned the car. Anyone who's on the car has probably discovered it as well, but I'll talk about that next. So yeah, thank you for watching and stay tuned. Once again, subscribe, like, comment, give me support, give me love, all that good stuff.